The Indiana Pacers have surprised everyone and come out the gates firing to begin their 2021 season, winning 4 of their first 5 games. Before the season started, I was concerned this team may slip down the standings due to many teams around them getting better, like Brooklyn, Atlanta, etc. But so far, that prediction has been well off, as the Pacers look better than they've ever been. They're looking great right now, but of course, it's only 5 games, so there's still some questions over their legitimacy as a title contender in the Eastern Conference. So, in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Indiana Pacers' great start to the 2021 season, the plays dominating that has allowed for this successful start to happen, and asking the question, are the Indiana Pacers true title contenders? Are they the real deal? Before we start, if you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content like this. I'm trying to hit 16,000 subscribers, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are off to an elite start for their 2021 campaign, as I mentioned, going 4-1 to open the year. In their first game of the season, they took down the Knicks after a relatively close first half, led by Sabonis' 32, 13 and 5 on elite efficiency. He was simply dominant in this game. The Pacers would then face the Chicago Bulls and took the opportunity for an easy win, led by TJ Warren, Sabonis and Victor Oladipo, who all dropped over 20 points on the night. Malcolm Brogdon also handed in 18, and it was a fantastic overall effort by the team, as the Pacers outscored Chicago by 18 points alone in the third quarter. Before they concluded this stretch in Cleveland today, the Pacers would play the Boston Celtics in back-to-back games, and both would come down to the wire. In their first meeting, Sabonis and Brogdon would lead the way, Brogdon dropping 25 and Sabonis getting a double-double, as well as hitting an insane game winner to seal the deal over the Celtics. Unfortunately, the Pacers couldn't continue the undefeated run in their next game against Boston, barely falling short by 5 points, and though they lost, they still played some great basketball this game. Oladipo was fantastic and looked like his old self. His off-the-ball cuts were really effective and caught the Celtics off guard a lot of times in this match, and his shooting and shot creation touch seemed to be back in form for this game, as he dropped 24 points on 55% field goal shooting. The rest of Indiana's starters all contributed double-digit points, and off the bench, Justin Holiday had a solid game himself, dropping 12 and taking 4 steals for the evening. Again, it was a disappointing loss, especially since they were leading by double digits entering the fourth, but there isn't much you can hate on them for in this match. For the most part, they were fantastic and took it up to a serious championship contender. And then finally, the Pacers got a big blowout win over the Cleveland Cavaliers today, who have been sneakily good to begin this season as well. It was another all-around team effort with no standout performer, just many of the starters contributing double-digit points for the game as the Cavs struggled to keep up with Indiana's play. With this win, the Pacers sit at 4-1 after 5 games and are amidst the best at the top of the Eastern Conference standings. But who's gotten them there? The Pacers have been playing greatly to begin this year, but what players have stepped up to get them into this position? The first player we have to talk about is Sabonis, arguably the most underrated player in the league currently. At the back end of last season, particularly the bubble, Sabonis was out for Indiana, and his absence ended up being felt a lot more than anticipated, as the team was nowhere near as good without him. This caused them to inevitably lose in the first round, getting swept by the Miami Heat, but to be fair, they were still somewhat competitive in that series. Anyway, Sabonis has come out this season and absolutely dominated early on, putting the league on notice. Through 5 games so far, Sabonis is averaging 22 points, 11 rebounds and 7 assists, which is elite from a big man, and he's also shooting at a ridiculously good rate, 54% from the field and over 45% from 3. That's on 3 attempts per game, which at this point is a career high for him in attempts per game. So to shoot that well from beyond the arc is amazing. Sabonis just won Player of the Week for the Eastern Conference, so I'm glad to see he's getting at least some recognition from the NBA for his elite play. And he's starting to show that his All-Star appearance last season was not a fluke. I mean, just today, Sabonis had another elite game, dropping 25 points on the Cavs to go along with 11 rebounds and 7 assists as he shot over 70% from the field. Sabonis is really one of the most underrated NBA players right now. He's a dominant inside force but can also stretch the floor. He's been clutch and right now is looking to take the Pacers further than people thought was possible in 2021. Another player killing it right now but is getting little to no love from the media is Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon's averaging 20 points through 5 games and 6.5 assists, and his impact is substantial to the Pacers. His ability to create shots for himself in the mid-range and near the rim is excellent, and he's also one of the more underrated playmakers in the league today. There's no shiny glamour to his game. It's a lot of grit, but it's effective, and it makes him one of the better guards in today's NBA. He's currently playing at a near all-star level right now and was for the last couple seasons, but is receiving literally zero recognition for it, so hopefully I can change that now. His playmaking is elite, his scoring is always consistent. There's really not a lot of guys that could fit onto any team, but Malcolm Brogdon definitely can. He's a remarkable player that's been one of the most impactful guys on the Pacers roster in this hot start to the new season, so I just had to talk about his impact today. Myles Turner has been incredible to begin this season, and I don't mean offensively and scoring, because he's only averaging 11 points per game on very average shooting. What Turner is dominating in right now is the blocks department. He's been historically great. Through 4 games, Turner is averaging 5 blocks per game, which is absolutely insane. Now don't be fooled, he's not exactly an elite defender, but his ability to read drives and to time block attempts definitely is. Turner's had a slow start offensively this season, but can be a great stretch big as he can shoot reasonably well from 3, though is a bit streaky. But so far, his rim protection has been elite, and I'm confident that area of his game can at least continue to be great throughout this season. His presence is felt more than ever now. He's starting to deter away a lot of drives, forcing a lot of kickouts or rush passes when players drive, and we saw that in particular against the Cavs today, so he's making a real impact out there. Once his offense gets going, he's going to be a highly valuable member of the Indiana Pacers, a great backup for Domantas Sabonis, and will contribute heavily to the potential success they might have this season. And the final player I want to talk about today is Victor Oladipo, who is finally starting to look like his old self. Oladipo has been amazing this season, averaging 22 points per game and shooting a ridiculous efficiency from the floor, 61% from the field and over 54% from downtown. It's just crazy what kind of form he is in. This has been great to see, especially after all the trade rumors circling around him in the off-season and all the doubts around his ability to return to all-star status due to him struggling all last season after his significant knee injury. But now, his first few games in 2021 give me a lot of hope. Oladipo will add even more depth to the attack of Indiana and create a major off-ball threat for defenses that they'll need to keep an eye on, as well as being a great facilitator and shot creator with the ball. Oladipo is off to a brilliant start for his 2021 campaign, and I hope for his sake that it continues to a similar degree for the remaining 67 games. So those are all the players I want to talk about today from the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, there's more guys who are helping this team out on a consistent basis, like TJ Warren and Justin Holiday, but the guys I went in depth with are players I believe that are making the most impact for the Pacers currently and have led them to their great start mainly. But with that being said, can the Pacers keep this up? Will they remain around the best of the best in the East, or will they fall off? Are they the real deal? To be honest, I really think they are. Unfortunately, coming into this season, I did sleep on the Pacers, and I didn't really believe they'd be able to recreate the success of previous seasons, especially with teams like the Nets, Wizards and Hawks seemingly improving their rosters around them. But so far, I've been proven wrong. Now it's looking like the Pacers are playoff locks, especially with the recent play of Sabonis in particular. He's shaping up to be one of the best big men in the league currently. The Pacers team overall is just so underrated. There's a lot of guys on this team dominating that the mainstream media won't talk about because they just aren't as flashy as the other stars of the league. In the end, I think the Pacers are legit, and whilst I won't say they're anywhere near to being favourites for the chip this season, they definitely are an underdog for it and should not be taken lightly. With teams like the Wizards and Toronto Raptors struggling, it's not hard to see the Pacers clinching home court for yet another season and potentially making a deeper playoff run than expected this season. But overall, these are my thoughts on the Indiana Pacers. With many of the team's core players dominating to start, particularly Sabonis, Brogdon and Oladipo, the Pacers are looking great and are setting themselves up for another fantastic season. It's only been 5 games, so I won't overreact too much, but it's not like they've only beaten bad teams so far either. Sure, the Bulls and Knicks are trash, but they were competitive with the Celtics, who also look like a real threat to take out the East. Indiana is one of the NBA's most underrated franchises, a small market with not a lot of media attention. However, that shouldn't stop them from getting the recognition they deserved after almost a league best start to the 2021 season, so hopefully I've given them enough spotlight today. The Pacers are once again looking like an underdog contender for another season, but we'll have to wait and see if they can do any better this time around. For now though, I'm pretty confident the answer to that question will be a yes if this squad continues to play how they are currently. The Pacers are getting ready to surprise everyone yet again. And that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? How good are the Indiana Pacers to you? Are they legit title contenders in your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.